Armored Core 6 is FromSoft's second incredible game of the last 2 years. They are on an absolute roll. And while Elden Ring is beautiful all of its own, Armored Core 6 shines because it's uniquely different. Because it's so different and fundamentally separate from what came before. It is FromSoft learning from all their past entries and titles, while leaning back into their bag, into their pocket of Armored Core, to try and modernize the series, but also give it its own unique identity. And in my opinion, I haven't even beaten the game yet, and they have succeeded in spades. I am absolutely engrossed with this game, and allow me to tell you why I am. Armored Core 6 works so well because it understands the unique qualities of the mecha genre that enable it to be so fun and rewarding with this unique style of game. The game is broken up into various missions of different lengths and different objectives. Some you fight a bunch of enemies, some you fight a boss fight, some you fight a bunch of enemies into a boss fight. Some are stealth missions, some are defense missions, some launch you across the ocean, and some have you fighting giant megalithic structures or monolithic structures. It's captivating in scale and mechanically complex and interesting if you want it to be, because the name of the game is that you control an armored core, an AC, otherwise known as a giant freaking robot. And because you are a giant freaking robot, every part of your kit, every part of your mech is customizable. You can swap them out, balance various stats, or equip different items and weapons and gear to suit each individual situation. You could tackle this game like a FromSoft, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring type of game. You could do that and take one build and just be excessively stubborn. You will proceed to get curb stomped into the ground and humbled. But you could do it. Through enough sheer will and intensity, you could do it. Or you understand that the game and the name of the game is the idea that you control a giant freaking robot, and that you are going to swap out each of these pieces and your weapons every time you die to better suit the situation. And it's such a simple formula, right? It's so incredibly simple, but you combine it with FromSoft's signature design process when it comes to world design, when it comes to enemy design, boss design, and it becomes so fun and rewarding. The only boss I've really struggled with in this game was Baltius. He's the only one that took me more than 5 tries, if that. Most of the other bosses in this game take me less than 3, because I understand the core design principle guiding this game. That is, you are supposed to cheese it. You are supposed to find the equipment and the slots that you think better suit this encounter that you're dealing with. You are supposed to augment yourself. And the game will throw credits at you, will throw new body pieces, new legs, and different accessories so that you can mix and match to suit the situation. Oh, maybe this fight really rewards you for just going with firepower and going for a full DPS race. I can go tank treads, I can go dual Gatling guns, I can go rocket launchers on my back, and I can just unleash the beast upon them. Because tank treads allow you to stack more weight onto your AC without being overburdened. Or maybe you need more mobility, so you may go for a biped form. Or you may need air time, so you go for tetrapod. Or maybe you need to jump high specifically, so you go for inverse joint biped. And you can mix and match 4 different weapons on your back or on your arms. It's so fun and customizable and engrossing that you can augment yourself on a moment-to-moment basis, where you gain data from a wipe, and then you use that data to say, okay, it's either just player skill here that I just need to get better at and get good, or I can swap out various components to suit the situation. Oh, I'm fighting this enemy that stays on the ground, that charges at me, and has a bunch of armor on its front, so I need to be able to go around it and hit it hard when I'm there, because it can turn quickly. Okay, dual shotguns, rockets on the back, on a biped, I can jump over it, avoid most of its mechanics, and just back shots for days into this thing. If you wanted to be stubborn, you could try a different build. The difficulty of this game comes through your perseverance and how you want to tackle this. If you want to be stubborn and just bash your head against the proverbial wall with whatever build you want to rock, you can do that, and it will be a challenging, hair-ripping endeavor. Or you can understand that this game is meant to be taken like a puzzle. It's a project, and you need to bring the tools appropriate for the project. If you need a hammer, you can't bring a screwdriver to it. You could probably get the nail in if you're consistent and stubborn enough. But if you just bring a hammer, well then, congratulations, you've uncovered the puzzle. You have found the key to unlock the door. And the game can be incredibly easy. It can be. It absolutely can be. There's some bosses which may give people some trouble, but most of the game can be incredibly easy if you take it under that approach. And there are even some weapons that are absolutely beyond freaking busted. Remember those Gatling guns from before? The B-roll in this video probably features 2 shotguns called the Zimmermans. Those things are busted. And it's fun, because I don't have to use them. I use them because I find them fun, and because I'm grinding for S ranks, for replayed missions. And I like the idea that I can just float by an enemy, shoot them once with the shotgun, and they're dead. It's a power fantasy done so incredibly right, because it doesn't force me upon any one path. At any time, any moment, in between each mission or between each death, if I take any, I can just swap my build to something else. If a certain playstyle gets a little bit bored or repetitive, I can just swap to something else and have a different time and tackle each fight and each encounter in a fundamentally different way. I freaking love it. I really do. And the game throws new items at you on a consistent enough of a basis to where you can always try something new or some different combination. Each encounter and boss is a puzzle for you to solve. And I love that. I really do. And they're able to interweave that level of gameplay satisfaction with engrossing encounters that are visually stunning and just cool. It's a giant robot power fantasy. That's what Armored Core 6 is. And it succeeds because it understands that reality and leans into it. You can navigate massive structures, duck in and out of large spaces or tight-knit corridors. You can fight absolutely wild machinations in the world, besiege various structures or walls alongside others, go 1v1 in the arena or in multiplayer if you want to. I haven't even touched the multiplayer, and I'm having this much fun with the game. It's a brilliantly designed game, because it doesn't try and please everyone. If you like giant robots and if you like customizability in your games, you can lean into that, and you can have an absolutely stellar time with this game. There's only a couple of walls that I've run into. The game rewards the thinking player. And if you want to just run and gun, you can do that too if you want. There's just a couple of fights where you're gonna need to think for a little bit. But when it comes to a game like this, it's so hard to nail difficulty, in my opinion. It really is. Because if you make every encounter stupidly powerful and a massive wall, well, then you undermine the mecha power fantasy the game is trying to instill for you. However, if you don't have any difficult encounters, then the game just becomes a mindless hold forward and hold the fire button and win. But the game is able to strike a middle ground for me, and have some fights that are pretty hard, or require me to think, but also give me those stretches where I can just feel more powerful than everything else. And I think it strikes a really good balance when it comes to this. The story is honestly whatever for me at this point, but I find it interesting enough. It's not the best story I've ever had, but it doesn't have to be, because it has cool moments with amazing gameplay. I don't miss that moment. If you know, you know. It's so cool. It's so badass. Because Armored Core 6 has an identity, the game and the developers understand that identity, and they lean into that. They don't try to be something that they aren't. They don't try to be Soulsborne, because that's not what Armored Core is. They can take inspiration and lessons from what came before, but they understand that Armored Core 6 is something different. It's something unique, and it's all the better because they understood this. And it's so customizable. The brilliant thing about mech games is that you can customize your mech to suit your preferences. You can make some absolutely wild builds. I saw someone make a Squidward Tentacles mech, and they made the nose and the eyes with the emblem editor in the game. It's so freaking cool what they let you to do. And the guy used a tetrapod as well. It's brilliant. I've made Optimus Prime. I've been doing stream suggestions for my chat about what mech to make, and to build. And we've been doing that like every stream, and it's been fun. Like, we have storylines for each individual mech that we use on stream. Pink Menace Mach 2, Pink Menace Mach 1, Optimus Prime. We have Master Chief now. We have Siren from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's the beautiful thing about Armored Core 6. It lets you be highly customized in terms of your visual preferences, but also your gameplay preferences. If you want to go melee, you go right on ahead. If you want to go ranged, you go right on ahead. If you want to go shotguns, go right ahead. The game never feels like it has to hold your hand. It never feels like it's trying to guide you down one specific path. It lets you choose. It trusts in the player intelligence to make their own decisions and to augment their experience to how they want it to be. And it's all the better because of it. The fights are varied, require different strategies. They aren't just one-dimensional. They're these dances that you can learn the choreography to. But they also all feel different. I've not run into two bosses that feel the same yet. I really haven't. Even when you fight other ACs in the game, they have different equipment, so they feel and play differently. Some may be fast or slow, some may have a lot of firepower or long-range attacks, some may go for melee and you have to be at range for them. There's so many different fights in this game, and sure, they may not require 40 pulls each or whatever, but I don't think a game has to be difficult or has to be easy to be fun and engrossing, because the game understands that, hey, we can give you difficulty options in an organic way, because we'll give you all these different options, and if you can think for yourself and think hard enough about how you want to tackle each situation, and what gear you want to bring to the table, then there you go. You can make the game as easy or as hard as you kind of want it to. Just so long as you get like a chapter in and you can have a good repertoire of items to augment your mech with. You can buff your mech up in the arena and put regular weapons on your back instead of back-specific weapons. If you want to go that route, you can do that. It's great. If you have a preference for a specific style of weapon like kinetic or energy, you can up that damage. You can gain various shields if you want to play defensively. It lets you pick your own playstyle. And because it's a mech game, it can just augment everything about it. It's cool. It's fun. And you know what? That's okay. Because games and FromSoft games don't have to be hard. They don't have to be difficult, and they don't have to be easy. Games like this can exist just because they are Armored Core freaking 6. Because they have an identity, they have a target demographic, they have a style of game that they want to pursue and be, and they do it in spades, and they do it incredibly well. What else can I say? I freaking love Armored Core 6 so far, and I just want to play more of it. Every time I play the game, I have a smile on my face. I'm just happy, because it's a great time. Even when I'm replaying missions, because I can do them in different styles and different loadouts to go for an S rank, or tackle different fights in different ways. I farmed Baltius before. When I first took him down, it took me 31 tries. And on my 31st pull, I got him down. And then afterwards, I can do him one piece at a try, because I know the build to go for. I have even better gear, but I'm also a better player. And that's great, because my mech is getting stronger, and me as the pilot is getting better. It's great. I love Armored Core 6 so far. And to me, that is the beauty of Armored Core 6. The customizability, the hands-off nature of the experience, and the fact that throughout the game, not only is the mech that I'm piloting getting better, but also me, the player. And I love that. So I'm going to call the video there for the day. Comment down below with your opinions on Armored Core 6. What do you like about it? What's your favorite aspect of Armored Core 6 so far? The customization? Was it a specific moment or a boss? Or what was it? I would love to hear your thoughts and hear your stories and hear your opinions. So stay safe, have a great day. Please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, have a great day. Go play some video games if you can. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye everybody. Until we meet again.